Hey, welcome to this explainer. Let's get right into it. Have you ever wondered why it is just so incredibly hard to sit down and do the work that actually matters to us? We all have these big, meaningful goals, yet we constantly find ourselves putting them off. Today, we're going to figure out exactly why that happens, and more importantly, how to fix it.
We've absolutely all been there, right? You know that morning spiral? You wake up, maybe you're still in bed, and you grab your phone. You check a few emails, then you open up social media, and boom. Suddenly your focus is completely ruined before the day has even officially started. You literally haven't even touched your real work yet, but your brain already feels exhausted and totally distracted.
So here is our game plan to tackle this. First, the procrastination problem. Second, the molecule of more. Third, the dopamine detox. Fourth, designing your environment. Fifth, open versus closed systems. And finally, preventing relapse. Let's dive in. Section 1, the procrastination problem, and that infamous daily spiral. Okay, so what is actually happening in your brain when you suddenly decide to reorganize your entire hard drive or grab your fourth cup of coffee instead of writing that really important proposal? Well, it is not just simple laziness. It's something called the stimulation gap. See, chronic overstimulation from, constantly scrolling on your phone puts you on this completely different, super high energy wavelength. And because of this massive gap, your normal, everyday important tasks, like studying or drafting a report, feel agonizingly boring by comparison. Your brain literally cannot bridge that gap between the high-flying stimulation of the internet and the quiet, deep focus of real work. Section 2, the molecule of more, and how we're being hijacked by tech. Now, to really understand why we get so trapped in this stimulation gap, we have to look at the biological culprit behind all this modern distraction. And we need to bust a massive myth right here, right now. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical. Nope. It is actually the molecule of more. It's an ancient evolutionary mechanism meant to drive anticipation and craving, basically just to keep us alive and looking for resources. But today, well, billion-dollar platforms use algorithms and constant notifications to weaponize this anticipatory craving against you. They keep you scrolling, forever searching for that next reward without ever actually delivering any lasting fulfillment. It's a trap. And your overstimulated mind uses these 4 sneaky psychological tricks to keep you distracted. First, it tells you, oh, returning to work is easy, when it definitely isn't. Then it whispers, hey, you can just do it later, indefinitely deferring your actual dreams. Third, it completely tricks you into believing that excitement somehow equals fulfillment, basically confusing the cheap thrill of a shiny red notification badge with genuine, lasting satisfaction. And finally, it leverages this intense scarcity mindset, making you constantly fear that you're missing out on something important if you aren't obsessively checking your feeds. To put the power of ignoring those short-term traps into perspective, just take a look at Amazon. Founded way back in 1994, it took them 9 whole years to turn their first annual profit. 9 years. Why? Because Jeff Bezos chose durable, long-term foundations over short-term dopamine hits. We are so conditioned to want super fast feedback and instant results, but real achievement absolutely requires resisting that immediate gratification. Section 3, the dopamine detox, and resetting your baseline. So the crucial takeaway here is that we have to deliberately cross that threshold and lower our stimulation baseline to actually cure this issue. Now, to be clear, we aren't eliminating dopamine completely. That's biologically impossible. Instead, we're using one of 3 methods to deliberately lower your stimulation threshold. First, you've got the 48-hour complete detox. This is the most intense one. Absolutely no internet, no screens, no junk food. If that's a bit too much, there's the 24-hour version, which is a shorter, slightly more accessible reset. Or you can just try a partial detox by removing your single biggest distraction, like, say, YouTube or Instagram, for a sustained period of time. The whole goal here is just to reset your baseline so that those ordinarily unappealing tasks feel approachable once again. Section 4, designing your environment and the mechanics of friction. Now, while a detox is incredibly powerful, sheer willpower and motivation alone will not save you in the long run. You absolutely have to use the mechanics of friction to lock it in. Want to stop mindlessly browsing? Try increasing the friction. Make those bad habits incredibly hard to do. Think about literally moving your internet router down 4 flights of stairs into a creepy basement. The sheer physical effort required to go get it will definitely make you think twice. On the flip side, you want to aggressively decrease friction for your actual goals. Make your meaningful work super easy to start, like leaving your word processor open right in the middle of your desktop before you go to bed. so jumping in the next day is completely effortless. Section 5. Open versus closed systems and your very first move. How you actually execute this day-to-day comes down to a vital choice. The very first thing you choose to interact with each morning. Entering an open system first thing, we're talking email, YouTube, social media, pulls you into this never-ending tornado of stimuli. It's an infinite loop. There is literally no natural stopping point. Whereas starting your day with a closed system, like a blank Word document or a specific Excel sheet, forces a finite, single-task focus. Doing this builds absolutely unstoppable momentum for the rest of your day. If you can successfully protect your mornings by utilizing these closed systems, you'll finally achieve this exact definition of real productivity rather than just running around being busy all the time. Productivity isn't about doing a million things at once. It's about doing the right things with consistent, laser-sharp focus. Section 6. Preventing relapse and playing the long game. Okay, we need to be incredibly honest with ourselves for a second. You are going to relapse. You will slip up, and that is completely 100% okay. The modern world is literally designed by thousands of engineers to hijack your attention, so it is definitely not a moral failing when you fall into the trap. You just need to have a contingency plan ready to go. Take some time to review your biggest distractors, envision those worst-case scenarios, and mentally rehearse exactly how you want to respond, because you really need a game plan for when just one single group chat threatens to spiral your whole day out of control. And hey, instead of just white-knuckling your way through those intense dopamine cravings, you can actively hack your other neurotransmitters like a biological cheat code. Want a nice boost? Go for some deep social interaction that naturally releases oxytocin. Need to clear your head? Taking a contemplative walk or doing some stretching triggers serotonin and endorphins. And practicing mindfulness, or honestly, just learning to embrace a little bit of boredom, can anchor your presence. This helps you build lasting calm and true fulfillment, all without ever needing to stare at a screen. So, to put this all into practice and really lock in your brand new baseline, I challenge you to commit to a simple, low-stimulation daily routine for 30 days right after your initial detox. This structured 30-day challenge is exactly what you need to prevent immediate backsliding and firmly establish your newfound capacity for deep, meaningful work. I want to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial thought. Reclaiming your attention is the ultimate foundation of a healthy, productive life. The entire world is out there fighting for your focus right now. So what are you going to choose to open first tomorrow morning?